Hi there, this is Bridget from the PlannerSpeechie. Welcome. Today I'm going to be planning for the last full week of school in my Aura Estelle planner with Caress Press inserts, and I'm going to be using this really cute art from, I'm not sure who the artist is, but the kit is called Sunshine from Pink Planner Shop. This is such a sweet kit. I know it's very preschool themed. This is my first year sort of managing all of the Bright Beginnings preschool program at one of my schools, and it has been such a joy. I'm really sad that I'm gonna have to say goodbye to so many kids. But anyway, so let me look at this kit a little bit more. So it's obviously a preschool or daycare type theme. I really love this box the most because it has the sign language that I teach a lot of my kids. But yeah, I think this is super cute. I wish our classrooms looked more like this. I think this is definitely more of a daycare situation, but the patterns on the colors on this are so bright and vivid. It's like perfect for preschool. I love this rainbow pattern. And then the deco. And then two more boxes. There were people that came with this, but I didn't feel like I didn't want to print any of them. They just didn't do it for me. And then I have this freebie sampler that I got from Carly Plans that I think matches this aesthetic perfectly. I'm also going to be pulling in this bundle from Scribble Pens Co. It's like a sparkly pink in daisy. So we've got full boxes and headers, bougie underlays, which I think are really fun, and then this sparkly script with the sparkly icons, and then the washi in her new format actually includes the hole reinforcers, which is super helpful, along with these dates. And then last but not least, I did have this Doodle 1 and Doodle 2 custom sheet made to go with this kit. I thought I would bring out the yellow because the yellow is so bright and fun. And I can incorporate some of these into other kits that I have as well. So anyway, I am just going to speed things up and come back in voiceover. Hey guys, what's up? Thanks so much for coming and joining me. This was a really crazy week in the life of me. I was really excited to use this art because it reflected all of the preschool and elementary school growth that I think I've done this year. I really loved the art, particularly this art where you could see the sign language card cues. I think that was really cool, and we just need more representation of different languages in our planners. I think it would be really fun. This was my first year doing all of an entire preschool program by myself, and I think I handled it very well. I learned a lot, and I feel like I made a lot of adjustments to my classroom, or my speech room rather. I don't have a classroom. I'm a speech pathologist, not a teacher, but I really enjoyed working with this population in particular this year, and I was very scared. But I really loved it, and I feel like the whimsy of the art that I chose reflects the joy that comes with working with young kids. It's just so much fun and so valuable, and on the days when I'm ready to pull my hair out, I remind myself that this was the dream and I'm living it, and so I'm trying to keep that in mind. The end of the school year is always chaotic. There's always meetings to be had, lots of different things to be done. This was the week of the Bright Beginnings graduation, and I was sad to miss it. I actually was at a different school on the day that they held it, so I was really disappointed that I didn't get to see all my students practice. They've been practicing all week, their songs, their marching. It was really sweet. So I'm sad that I didn't get to experience that, but I like to think that all of my students who had difficulty talking at the beginning of this year everyone made improvements. Nobody stagnated, which is really amazing. And I'm going to get gushy. I didn't get to say goodbye to some of these students because after graduation, they just never came back, which is silly because there was an entire like 6 days left of school at that point. But anyway, so I'm going to get into it with the day by day. So you're going to hear about all the crazy things that I did, but I just wanted to share that little tidbit because it was chaotic and messy and fun, and it's been quite a year. So anyway, I'm just finishing up with those date covers, and then we will hop right into the day by day. I believe I used everything from the foil bundle that I possibly could, including the reinforcers, the date numbers, all of the glitter headers. Okay, so let's get into the day by day. First thing I'm going to mark on Monday is that I had work. And I'm going to be using this sticker from Stick with the Plan Co. all week. It's like girl holding a crayon, which is super cute. So anytime you see work, I want you to think speech therapy, because that's literally what I did. Anything that's foiled comes from that foiled sheet with the bundle. Super cute. So the next thing I marked is that I did a speech language eval. I'm just going to go ahead and use this sticker, which is super cute. I love this pattern so much. It's this like really pretty little rainbow pattern. And I have this doodle from the Scribble Prints Co. text doodles, and this is from, I'm actually going to cut this down. Where's my scissors? There they are. Okay. So we got the eval part. I love this typewriter font. It's so fun. Speech eval. This is the last speech eval that I did for the whole freaking year, and I can't even believe that I had to test somebody on the Monday before the last day of school, which is bizarre. Like super duper bizarre. I can't even tell you. The next thing I'm gonna mark is just a little thing, because this was kind of a rough day for me. I was sort of mentally exhausted, and I was just really, really tired. So I'm going to mark that. There's my little tired AF sticker. I'm just going to use this little like nighttime thing from the foil bundle to mark that, because I was just so out of it. Oh my gosh. Okay. Moving into the second part of the day. So I did have therapy, like personal therapy, when I got home. So I'm just going to mark that with, I'm calling it appointment, and I'm using this little laptop because I do virtual therapy for myself. It is super convenient and I love it. So that's just appointment, but it was for therapy. And the next thing I'm going to mark, I'll use like a round little thing here. Or it's not like a little thing. You know. Oh, I should have, no, that's right. The pattern is really subtle on this, but I did get some happy mail. My Scribble Prints Co. monthly kit came in. So I got some happy mail. And then the last thing that I'll mark for this day is that I had dinner with my husband. I'll just use this. And I have this little Carly Plans dinner plate along with this script. They're actually kind of connected. I'm not sure how that happened, but there you go. And that is from Planner Custom. Okay, so then Tuesday. Tuesday was kind of a crazy day. I had to do some work. And I'll just go ahead and start with a patterned one. This is a fun pattern too. It's like a, oops. It's got like this really cute little, oh, something got stuck there. Okay. It's like almost like a daisy. Let's see. And again, just using this to mark that I did work. So I did my speech therapy in the morning. And I did do quite a bit of session notes. So go ahead and mark that. And then session notes are the notes that I have to mark when I do a speech therapy session. I have to do that every single time. Again, I'm gonna mark that I did binge watch some stuff on my phone. Just kind of going through a plan with me phase this day, so just use a little thing to mark that. This cute little binge watch sticker. And I have all these fun little deco things. I was watching it on my phone, but whatever. So then the next thing that I marked is that I had dinner with Frank, and I'll use this like round pattern. Something did not cut very well here, but that's okay. And I'm going to use my little Carly Plans dinner plate to mark that. We did watch some Mad Men. So I'll use this like funky little thing to watch. Mark watching Mad Men. I have my little Carly Plans TV here. That's the mini size. And then my custom script from Carly Plans. And then I did work very late this night because I had an IEP scheduled for the next morning. And it was kind of a crazy situation. Okay. See, my things don't want to come up. I'm not sure what that's about, but so I have this fun little sticker from Stick with the Plan Co. It's a girl thinking about her bed, which I was definitely doing. And then this work late script from the bundle. I actually worked late a lot this week, not just on Tuesday, but okay. So then moving on to Wednesday. Wednesday, I'm going to use a round box to mark that I worked. So Wednesday morning, I had my last speech therapy session for the year for my students at this particular school, which was so sad. And I knew I was going to miss them. And that was a little sad, but oops, I meant to put something in front of that. Let me move this down. So I'm just gonna put that there for a second. I did want to mark, I guess I'll use a patterned thing here. So I'll just go this way. Just mark that I showered in the morning. And it was an everything shower. So that little axolotl is from Carly Plans. And this
shower script is also from Crowley Plans. So then I worked. And I did have an annual IEP as well. So I'm going to mark that. And I wish I could say this was my last IEP of the year. It was definitely not. And it was an annual for a student who wasn't due until September, but we have to do those in advance, which is very smart because the beginning of the school year, nobody has time for that. So it just helps everybody stay compliant. Okay, so then I was a bad girl and I did get McDonald's for lunch. I was just so stressed out with all the papers and stuff that I had to deal with. And so I was like, you know what? We're going to get some trash food and it's going to be delightful. And it was. So then after work, I did go grocery shopping. Sorry. There we go. And I will use a patterned one to mark that. We did grocery shopping. I did have sushi. I did do Sushi Wednesday, but I decided not to mark it as Sushi Wednesday. Excuse me. I just marked it as Time with Frank. And I will tell you, I did also work late this evening as well. Just trying to catch up on all the paperwork. So I go grocery shopping every, I go grocery shopping at Publix every week on Wednesdays because they have $5 sushi rolls. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Bridget, life is too short to eat $5 sushi from the grocery store. But the answer is, no, it's not. It's actually decent sushi and I like it. Okay. So that is the first half of the week. I love how sparkly this is. So fun. Okay. Moving on to the second part of the week. So here she is in all her glory. Okay. So then on Thursday I really didn't have very much to report, but we'll go from there. So I will use bigger things to mark this. I'm not a huge fan of this pattern, but I'm going to use it anyway. The first thing I marked is that I did work. I had my last speech therapy sessions with my older students because they were in 4th and 5th grade and I only see them once a week and we wouldn't be having school on that Thursday. So that is that. Then I had a rather unhinged IEP meeting, which was so bananas. And I was a little, frankly, pissed about what happened in this meeting. So I did testing for a student. The student was always going to get speech therapy, so that was not really an issue. And I'm calling it an IEP results meeting because it was supposed to be an eligibility meeting, but it turned out that the testing that we thought was completed was not completed and had to be requested and filled by the end of the year. So now one meeting, which should have been one meeting, was now going to be 2 meetings. And I protested having to even go to the second meeting because there was no point in me having to go twice. But I did it for the sake of, being a good sport, and that's fine. But I was just very, very frustrated. That's all I'm going to say about that. But anyway, so Next thing I'll mark is that I was supposed to go to my department celebration this day, which was at like an outdoor venue, and it was pouring rain. It was a nasty day, but there was a little bit of like there's stuff going on in our department right now. They're like rearranging the whole scheme of things, and so anyway, long story short, I ended up having like a fun little lunch with my own people, and that was kind of nice because we hadn't been able to meet in a long time. So I'm just gonna write. And then I did do a ton of paperwork. So sorry, I just gotta go through my stash to pull that out because I did not pull out that sticker, and I should have. But let's go ahead and mark that. I'll use a little thingy right here. And so much paperwork, boy. And I'm gonna use this cute little thing here. I'll just use this little fun pencil to mark that I did do paperwork at home. And then I also had a meal with Frank. So let me use this. Just put this down here. And cute little, that matches so perfectly. That's like insane how well that matches. Let me, sorry, looking for scripts, looking for scripts. Looking for scripts, 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 looking for scripts. I don't know where my script is went. Okay, so you can see, so I have everything organized usually, but I have been trying to do like multiple plan with me's over and over and over. And it was just kind of, I just decided I'm not going to put these back because I'm going to use them in like a second. Okay, so that was Thursday. Friday. I have a lot more to mark. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I have 6 things. I can start with a little thing. I haven't used one of these yet. So the first thing I'll mark is that Friday is trash day. So what that means in my neighborhood, because I live in suburbia, is that I have to wheel the bin out to the street before like 7:30, which is easy to do because I'm usually in my car. So not that hard. The next thing I'll mark is that I did work, and this was supposed to be my last day of speech for this school, but what ended up happening was I had a couple of kindergarten students who have been asking me all year to make slime with them. That's all they wanted to do. They wanted me to make slime. And so I was like, okay, maybe for the last week of school, and I kept pushing that off, and then the last week of school came. So I like legit had nightmares about how to make slime, what to do, all the things. So I bought a kit, I was ready to go with it, and then I went to go pull them for speech, and it was the kindergarten graduation. And they were doing a fire drill, and I was like, okay, so I will not be pulling my students today. I will have to pull them on Monday morning, the very last day that I'm going to be in the building with them. So that was fine. I actually did a full day of speech therapy with all my kids. We did like planned activities. I was very, very good, but I was also extremely exhausted because I had a lot of things I had to deal with. And then I also had an IEP meeting. So I had back to back to back to back to back to back things happening on this day, and it drove me bananas. So, I mean, it is what it is, you know? But it was like a wild experience because I was crazy tired. All right, so there's my little IEP. And that's not the last IEP I have for the year, but it was an eligibility meeting, and that was nice. And this was for a student who was going to be placed in a separate school setting. So it's kind of bittersweet because we wouldn't be working with the student next year at all. But I hope this is the right placement for this child. I believe it is. I think eventually this child is going to transfer back into a regular extensions program someday. I'm very hopeful, but like behavior wise and for his safety and for like where he is academically, this is a better situation for him. So that's really good, and I'm happy for him, but it's also sad, you know? It's just sad. We care so much about our students. I don't think people realize that. So now I'm actually using the laptop from the bundle and session notes. Okay, so I did have a bill due this day. So I'm going to use this. Let's see. I have a little bill due here. How many more things do I have to mark? Oh, I have one more big thing at the end of this, but that's okay. So I have this cute little money. This is actually from a different Scribble Prints Co. thing, but I decided let's just do this. I paid a medical bill this day, and then very last thing I will mark with this really cute rainbow pattern is that I got my hair cut. I was very excited about this. Okay, so this sticker is from Sweet Ava's Paper, and it's so cute because it's Rapunzel getting her hair cut. It's super sweet. And then this script is from the, it was like a freebie I got from PlannerSpeechie way back in the day. So I only get my hair cut like 3 times a year, which is bad. Should really get it cut 4 to 5 times a year, but I have long hair and I just don't want to deal with anything. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh boy. Okay, we're gonna do some little things, I think, for the majority of this spread. So we're gonna do 8 things. First thing I'm marking is that I made avocado toast. I have this cute little egg from the foil bundle. I don't like when it jumps at the beginning of my writing. We did that earlier in the morning. And then we went to Costco, and we actually got gas as well, but I didn't mark that. But it's so nice to get gas at Costco because it's so cheap. All right, so there's my little Costco. That sticker is from Once More with Love. This is from Carly Plans. Okay, so we went to Costco, and then I came home and I had to work on an eval report. Ooh. So that sucked, but I did a great job on it, if I do say so myself. It was a very entangled report, and there was a lot to do, but I did it. And I don't like working on the weekends. I also don't advocate for working on weekends, but sometimes girls got to do what a girl's got to do. you know. Okay, so then the next thing I'll mark, and of course I don't have any more little patterned things. I marked that I did do a YouTube binge. I gave myself permission to veg out because I was so tired. And I worked hard. And I like did adult things, like go to Costco and get groceries. So the next thing I will mark is that I did film some Plan With Me stuff. So I have this cute little thing from the foil bundle. All right. So then the next thing I'll mark is that we ordered from Metro Diner because they had cookie butter pancakes. Let me tell you something. I did not know the magic of cookie butter until I got these pancakes, and oh my God, they are heaven. They are heavenly. So our local diner, which is Metro Diner, does like different flavors of that you can get: waffles, pancakes, or bread pudding. It's all the same batter. And they did a vote recently, and cookie butter won. I voted for it, and it was so flippin' good. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Well, so two things happened. The first being that we watched Good Night and Good Luck, the live Broadway production, on our TV. And it's going to say movie night, which I'm not crazy about, but we watched, it was our movie night technically, but I picked Good Night and Good Luck because George Clooney wrote, directed, and starred in it, and I thought it was amazing. Thought the portrayal was very good, and I thought it was a politically apt statement to make in these times. So that was really good. And I guess I'm gonna have to use this bigger patterned thing to mark this, which looks a little funny, but that's okay. So we watched that. It was incredible. And then my neighbor was like, hey, we just had our new back porch put in. Do you want to come over and hang out? And so we came over after this was done, and their back porch looked amazing. They had a brand new like flat screen out in the back with this like covered area with a fan. It was super nice. And then it started to rain, so we ended up staying there like much later than we meant to, but it was a really, really fun sort of the moment thing, and I love that. I love that I live in a neighborhood where I have friends like that, where I can just go over to their house. It's so sweet. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8 more things again. So let's make it small and simple. Okay, the first thing I marked was that I slept in, which is so nice. I feel like I actually sleep in. The only day I do that is Sunday. So I have this cute little sleep mask and then this little thing there, and it just looks really, really cute. The next thing that I'll mark is that it was my father-in-law's birthday. So last year on his birthday, he was actually here for that. He was visiting us in North Carolina, and that was the first time that they were staying at our brand new house, and it was so great to have him there. So that was really fun. But yeah, so use this little foiled cake from the bundle, and just mark that. And then I also marked cuddle time And that goes there. And we had the rest of our cookie butter, pancakes, and waffles, and all the other delicious things. On the rest of the morning. So all of these things represent things that happened like before 10 a.m. Just crazy. I feel like I do get the majority of my stuff done first thing in the morning. So that's kind of true. And then I spent the next several hours working on an eval report. So I wrote 2 evaluation reports in 2 days, and these were very involved reports. These were not little reports. So that was kind of crazy. But I did both, and I finished all of them, and I was very proud of myself. Like, I was just very, very happy to hear that I could accomplish that. Okay. Next thing I'll mark is that I did do some planning. And I have this cute little cloud sticker, and this is from the bundle. It's planning time, so I did do some more. So usually I film the bases on Saturday, and then Sunday I do the planning for the week. It's supposed to be that week, so like I'm doing that Sunday. But I'm actually 2 weeks behind now, so I'm trying really hard to catch up. And then this is really sad. So my friend Brittany, she has this beautiful dog named Keely who has been sick, and we got news that Keely was had a tumor and was not going to recover, and so they were going to have to put her down, and that was really heartbreaking. I'm just gonna do that. And then last thing I'll mark is that I did FaceTime with my parents. And they were kind of, this is too big. Can I use the smaller one maybe? I have this like miniature thing here. Like that. And then I have this little phone icon, which I think is funny because I definitely FaceTime them, not called them. But go ahead and mark that. Okay. And that is that. Okay. Ah, it looks so good. It looks great. Okay, so now I am going to put this back in my planner. And I will show you what is left over from the pages that I printed. There's quite a bit of them. And I didn't use the deco this week. Okay, so this is what's left. There's quite a bit left. I used basically everything on this page and most of the little things. I didn't use any of the deco or this like whole sheet basically. And then from this, this is what's left over from this sparkly. There's quite a bit left. There's quite a bit left on here. And then this is the foil bundle, so I have these underlays left. And I have some of these left. And all the headers. What I try and do usually is like do it so that I just have the one sheet. So I'm not like doing all that. Let's see if I can get, that was the other thing. This whole bundle was kind of cut weird. There's like weird cut things throughout. So we're just gonna let that go. But anyway, let me show you the full spread in my planner so you can see. And I will zoom out. Ah, looks so cute. We'll zoom out just a little more. All right, so there you go. There you have it. That is the full spread. I think it looks fantastic. Really nice way to start June. Just so you can see the last thing I did the week before that looked very different. So anyway, I'm very excited. Thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.